10 shocking banned foods worldwide. Over 420,000 die yearly. One is in Taiwan. The worst is a human harvester. Never eat it. 10th, ackee. If you think durian stink makes it fruit world's only badass, you're still naive by a mile. The killer is ackee, stepping from West African scenery, smiling wide, but hiding a deadly plan. Unripe ackee flesh hides two toxins, hypoglycemia and B. They sound like vitamins, but they can kill you. If swallowed, vomiting and dizziness hit, then blood sugar crashes. Death in 24 hours. No chance, call 911. This reaction is called Jamaican vomiting sickness. From 1989 to 1991, 28 cases and 6 deaths occurred in Jamaica. By 2000, Haiti alone saw 100 plus poisoned or dead from it. Think ackee only hurts? It's considerate too. As ackee ripens and splits, toxins move to the seeds, making the flesh safer. As early as 1973, the US FDA outright banned importing ackee into America. No fresh fruit. Even Ken must pass layers of checks before sale. Simple. They won't let one fruit spark a national medical disaster. He's a moody bomb. You never know which bite's his last smile. Ironically, this king of poison is Jamaica's signature fruit and state banquet cuisine's true soul. Ackee and saltfish ranks here like China's dumplings, Japan's sushi, or France's foie gras. It appears in folk songs and album art. Cooked ackee feels like scrambled eggs. With salty codfish, one bite ignites your palate. That layered taste and aroma make you risk it for a bite. Sure enough, great food and danger most easily spark human curiosity. Few know ackee once had a financial history. Its seeds were used in colonies as standard weights, and even became a currency unit. The Gold Coast ackee, a fruit on currency, is a vintage icon in fruit finance. In short, ackee is a versatile fighter with a creepy smile. One slip here could twist your fate in a heartbeat. Number 9. Casu marzu cheese. If durian and stinky tofu smell like nothing to you, the next challenger tests more than nose and tongue. It hits your eyes and pushes past your limits. Casu marzu is a traditional sheep cheese from Sardinia, Italy. His ripening skips time and cheesemakers, relying on cheese fly larvae, the legendary maggots. During production, cheesemakers shave off part of the rind to lure mother flies to lay their eggs. One fly can lay up to 500 eggs. Once hatched, maggots happily eat and puke away inside the cheese. Their enzymes break down fat, causing cheese to ferment into an advanced decay stage. This cheese is intense and sharp, with a lingering aftertaste that can last hours. Visually, it's just as shocking. The cheese teems with translucent maggots, about 8 millimeters long, that can spring 15 centimeters when startled. Diners raise hands to shield faces, but it's far more than just gross. Since 1962, Italy has officially banned casu marzu for one simple reason. It's too unhygienic. Though no cases prove it deadly, larvae may survive in intestines, causing pseudomyosis. So the European Food Safety Authority rejected it unanimously. In 2009, it entered Guinness as the world's most dangerous cheese. Yet that danger hides enduring homesickness and pride for its makers today. For Sardinians, casu marzu is more than taste tradition. It's a cultural symbol. Some believe it boosts male strength. Served at weddings, it brings luck. Call it contraband. Islanders still call it heritage. Casu marzu moved to the black market. About 100 tons yearly, worth $2.1 to $3.2 million. Roughly double legal cheese. Even with 50,000 euros fines, Yu Ming still makes it secretly. Eating this cheese feels like joining a hidden cult. If you don't get it, don't ask. Casu marzu is a mirror for our fantasies. We accept fermented bean curd, blue cheese, stinky tofu. Why not this peak? This cheese unites taste, mind, law, and culture. It's a rebel in society and a Sardinian culinary belief. Number 8. Shark fin. In Chinese cuisine, it's a delicacy. One of the 8 treasures. At Manchu Han feasts, it was the star. In Qing dramas, eunuchs board in bowls. Dubbed heaven-reaching fin. So many shark fins. Like an ocean pageant. Tianju fins are grand and long. Kun and yupi. Formal for weddings. Kunchi sounds poetic, but it's shark belly muscle. Soft and surprisingly inexpensive. Don't be charmed by these heavenly names. The truth is grim. Shark fin is just shark fin. For that 5%, whole sharks are often finned, then dumped back, dying. Most hunting boats lack refrigeration, so they can't keep whole sharks' huge bodies intact. So they chose the cheapest way. Cut fins off live sharks, then toss bodies back. Finless sharks sink, thrash, suffocate, then die. One lavish banquet costs the lives of tens of millions of sharks in all. Conservatively, over 73 million sharks die yearly in the fin trade. Hong Kong processes about half of it worldwide today. One city became a species-wide slaughterhouse. Is shark fin really nourishing? Qing Medica claimed. Benefits organs, boosts energy, strengthens waist. Science rejects myths. Modern nutrition has long tagged it as mere luxury. 100 grams dried shark fin has 80 grams protein, but it's incomplete and poorly absorbed. Put simply, it's absorbed worse than an egg in humans. Some fish food may contain mercury, damaging nerves, liver, and kidneys over time. Since the 21st century, anti-shark fin campaigns have gone global, revealing its bloody truth. 2009 Hawaii bans shark fins, $15,000 fines. In 2012, Taiwan banned shark fin imports, becoming one of Asia's first to do so. That year, mainland China banned shark fin at banquets, cutting luxury menus. In Hong Kong, the peninsula and Shangri-La pledged to stop serving it. Shark fin used to mean status and power. Now it's a symbol of environmental harm and greed. Sometimes we eat for pleasure. Sometimes we abstain out of respect. 7th, raw milk. In today's romantic craze for natural, organic, back to basics living, one drink returns in a naturalist guise. Raw milk. It looks pure, but lift the cup and may swallow not health, but microbial arsenal. Raw milk is unpasteurized. It sounds old-fashioned, but it breeds viruses, bacteria, and parasites easily. CDC shows raw milk is 840 multiplied by likelier to cause poisoning and 45 multiplied by likelier to hospitalized than pasteurized milk. May harbor E. coli, salmonella, listeria, worst, H5N1 avian flu. Yes, it's real. Avian flu appeared in milk. In 2024, FDA first found H5N1 in raw milk samples. By June, 95 U.S. herds were infected. 4 human cases, all linked to dairy cow contact. More alarming, June 2024 survey found 47% of U.S. adults know raw milk is unsafe. 24% say pasteurizing's needless. 9% even think it's safer. Oddly, in America, even milk becomes a political battleground. Democrats trust bus sterilization more. Some liberals call it science, but conservatives see it as government intrusion on freedom. So raw milk became a quiet statement. I trust cows, not government. Think it's only a food dispute? No, it's a gray supply chain. Since 1987, federal law in U.S. bans interstate raw milk sales, yet 30 states permit some legal sales. Elsewhere, black market milk thrives. Member dairies, bring your jug pickups, and neighborhood drop sites abound. In Switzerland, supermarkets just label it, use at your own risk, gracefully. Many choose raw milk, thinking natural. Unprocessed means nutritious for health. Classic mistake. CDC says pasteurization won't change milk's key nutrients. Protein, calcium, and vitamin D still remain intact. Skipping pasteurization is like not washing hands to keep vitamins. Organic alone doesn't meet scientific standards. Raw milk mixes fantasy, controversy, loopholes, and politics. It's a natural illusion and a virus haven. Pour it in a glass bottle, add a retro label, pair with granola, post your breakfast on IG. But you can't deny it's a ticking bomb in your daily cup. 6th place, beef. You might think it's just for grilling, hot pot, or gym meals. No, it was Britain's darkest food code too. In 1980s Britain, a once tender, juicy steak turned death into a baffling mystery. It began in November 1986 with a strange cow. It was slow, stiff, and vacant-eyed, like a cow on fake booze. He was diagnosed with mysterious bovine spongiform encephalopathy, or mad cow disease, a brain disorder caused by abnormal prion protein inside a healthy body. It plays bad mentor, coaxing normal proteins to go rogue until brain tissue is eaten into sponge-like cavities. Even scarier, it's nearly untreatable, irreversible, immune to heat, UV, and formalin. But why do cows go mad? British answer: shattered values. Cows ate cows in the 1970s to speed cattle growth and raise feed protein. British ranchers ground cattle and sheep organs and bones into meat and bone meal, then mixed it back into their cattle feed. Ruminants eating ruminants makes the food chain a twisted spiral. This chain let the prion jump species, becoming systemic self-contamination in hosts. The UK became the first mad cow hotspot. The government panicked. To halt mad cow spread, Britain began nationwide mass culling in 1988, killing over 4 million cattle, an entire generation eradicated. But this virus invaded humans. By early 2000s, 177 Britons were diagnosed with variant CJD, human mad cow variant. Brain spongifies, movement fails, psych symptoms, then death. Worst of all, symptoms can hide for over 10 years. So a steak you enjoy today could leave your brain, unraveling a decade later with no warning. A steak turned into a delayed death alarm. But one key question remains. How did the first cow go mad? People thought mad cow was just a feed problem. But British farmer Mark Purdy came forward. He pointed out government injections into cattle spines disrupted the brain's copper-manganese balance, causing excess manganese to accumulate and trigger prion misfolding. Purdy's claim was branded a conspiracy and suppressed. But in 2003, Cambridge chemist David Brown found mad cow brains had tenfold more manganese and copper loss. Still, mad cow disease's source stays a ghost in the fog today. You never know why cattle go mad. Eat it, and you might lose your mind too. After BSE scare, global food rules shifted. Europe once halted UK beef exports. Japan, US, Taiwan banned beef or parts. Taiwan banned US beef 6 years. Only in 2021 allowed ractopamine residue imports. Those supermarket labels limiting beef cuts are mostly lingering fallout from the mad cow disease scare. Now, though mad cow seems over, some countries strictly limit beef by age, cuts, rearing history, Veng Nu Bing. Food chain isn't a toy. One bad link wrecks it. 5th, pig blood cake. In night market smoke and sizzle, you can spot from afar. A bamboo skewer held high, black-red, shining with steam. Foreign writers call it horror. Taiwanese eat it as New Year blessing. Is pig blood cake, legendary bloodfish rice mix. A worldwide cultural bravery test. In 1945, Taiwan began rebuilding. Vendor Wang Qingyuan found pig blood at a slaughterhouse. Others shunned it. He mixed it with glutinous rice, steamed, skewered, and sold it on the street. Thus, the cheap, nourishing survival skewer debuted. Decades later, it survived the times, even landing on CNN's top 10 oddities. Beside Icelandic rotten shark and haggis, Americans eat pudding, Germans blood sausage, foie gras. Pig blood cake is called unsafe, shocking, mysterious, because after steaming it's rust black to deep red, between rice cake and rubber in texture, rolled in peanut powder and cilantro. Sounds like dessert but tastes like history stuck in teeth. His blackness came from color and news. In 2015, Taiwan exposed vendor Shuang Ping for selling feed-grade poultry blood as food grade, sparking a pig blood scandal. 24,300 kilograms seized amid reports of feathers, spoilage, and antibiotic residues. A supposed blood tonic turned into a poultry mix. Good news. Taiwan has since tightened food safety for blood products. Traceable sources, stricter testing. Vendors use certified large suppliers. Hygiene greatly improved. The psychological stigma remains. The US hasn't expressly banned pig blood cake, yet legal entry is impossible. Several Taiwanese owners in Los Angeles say pig blood cake is stopped by customs over animal blood rules. That ban sparked fury. Chu Shu Heng said, "You eat blood sausage. We can't eat pig blood cake. Not hygiene, discrimination. Pig blood cake may repel at first, but when insects hit Michelin menus, what should scare us? Food or bias? Different, not a monster. Traditional, evolving. With food safety transparent and rules tight, maybe one day this peanut-dusted skewer snack can stand on NYC streets beside kebabs, hot dogs, and churros, continuing the pig's blood rice legend." Fourth, absinthe. You think booze just boosts sex? No, spirits have a dark goddess of their own. Absinthe, the green fairy, smells like a medieval witch's potion. An organza clad witch that enchants you until you forget the way home. Absinthe's ingredients seem simple yet mysterious. Wormwood, green anise, sweet fennel, and secret herbs. At 65 to 84% ABV, it's fiercer than most baijiu. One sip equals 3 vodka shots. Born in 18th century Switzerland, doctors then sold it as medicinal liquor, claiming it cured everything. In Paris, the wine felt magical. Hemingway, Van Gogh, and Wilde worshipped it. Wang Erd said, "The first drink shows your heart, the second unreal visions. The third naked truth." Sounds philosophical, but is drunken confusion. In 1910, French drank 360,000 liters of absinthe a year, just tiny beside nearly 500 million liters of wine. But as absinthe spread, it sparked not only inspiration, but many green fairy killings. Most notorious was Switzerland's 1905 case. That incident, farmer drank absinthe, killed wife and 2 daughters. Before it happened, he downed wine and brandy. Yet folks recall only 2 absinthes, because the green fairy steals attention. This shocking case became the final straw for absinthe's ban. Absinthe was accused of being hallucinogenic because it contains an ingredient called thujone. Scientists suspected it caused hallucinations, seizures, madness, animals hyperexcited. Modern studies say absinthe's thujone is too low to matter. What really makes you see ghosts is its high 70% plus alcohol content. From 1915 on, France, Switzerland, Belgium, and the US banned absinthe production and sales, treating the liquor like medicine. One of history's most disputed bans. During decades banned, absinthe's mystique deepened, smuggled into bars worldwide as a rare underground drink. Bohemian culture embraced it. Conspiracy theorists also revered it as a free will symbol. Not until the 1990s did the EU lift the ban after review, provided thujone stayed strictly under 35 milligrams per kilogram. From then on, absinthe was reborn and returned legally to market again. Spain, France, Czechia restarted absinthe. Over 200 brands returned. Now it's legal in the US. It became bartenders' favorite show drink. Pour, sugar cube, light, add ice. An ancient alchemy rite. Absinthe may be, by far, history's most misunderstood drink, or art's most legal hallucinogenic muse to date. He returned alive, his charming green gaze roaming bars, night markets, museums. Third, Kinder Surprise. In today's childhood nostalgia craze, one candy makes everyone gasp out loud, all at once. The Kinder Surprise Egg. Round surprise egg, 2-layer white and milk chocolate shell. Inside, a hidden yellow plastic capsule opens to a small build-it toy. To many, it's more than a snack. It's ritual childhood nostalgia. Yet this sweet chocolate egg hiding a prize is banned in America. Not for taste, but for surprise. Since 1974, Kinder Surprise has sold over 30 billion, several times the world's population. On average, each person gets 3.75 eggs, but Americans may not get even one at all. Why? It violates the 1938 Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Food can't contain inedible, non-nutritive matter. That cute yellow capsule in the Kinder egg is defined as non-nutritive. though labeled not for under threes. And the toy far bigger than a pill. The US still barred entry. In 2011, a Canadian stopped at US Customs with a few Kinder eggs was warned of up to $2,500 per egg. He gave up the eggs to save himself. Facing millions cries, Gianda launched Kinder Joy, Gianda Kikudan. But this surprise egg lost its soul. Egg shape. Split. One half has cream and crunchy balls with a small spoon. The other holds the toy separately. Looks like a Kinder Surprise, but tastes like cheap canned dessert and egg. No bite and reveal romance. Just vetted harmless joy. Kinder Surprise drew more than US attention. In 2000, 3 young UK fans choked on its toy, shocking the public. Even so, the UK didn't ban sales. It toughened warnings, arguing banning such toys might close shops. 2022. Belgium and Canada recalled over toy or chocolate contamination in eggs, yet sales saw no impact. Though it's chocolate with a surprise and legal risk, Kinder eggs still shape childhoods in 100+ countries, and adults collect them too. So far, over 12,000 toys have been put in eggs. New ones debut yearly. Some go viral filming egg openings. Others collect certain sets, like ticking off a dessert map. A cultural icon, the Kinder Surprise egg recalls childhood's simplest joy again. One tiny egg holds endless possibilities. Just in the US. Remember, never take eggs through customs, unless you want a taste of dessert smuggling yourself too. Second, pufferfish. If you think eating fish just means picking bones, you haven't met pufferfish. Delicious when right, deadly when wrong. For sure. Chubby and adorably blank, he conceals danger. The ocean's poison queen, or a dining table Russian roulette. Between taste and toxin lies a knife. Its formal name is tetrodotoxin, a neurotoxin 1,000 times stronger than cyanide. Just 1 to 2 milligrams can kill. A few salt grain specks can suffocate you while fully conscious. Yes, I said awake. Your brain stays awake as you slowly can't breathe or move. Your heart stops, and there's no antidote. So why eat it? Answer: it's that tasty. Pufferfish is cloud soft, slightly springy, lightly aromatic. A fish luxury, but to taste it, you need a chef for surgery like bomb diffusing. In Japan, fugu chefs must train 3 years and pass a strict exam. It tests killing, detoxing, slicing, and tasting. Pass rate is about 35% on average. Japanese law bans laypeople buying whole pufferfish for home prep. Toxic organs must be destroyed immediately, or it's deliberate suicide. In Japan, pufferfish uniquely represents both fine dining and taboo culture. They say Japan's emperor avoids pufferfish, fearing sudden death. Yet in spite of that, Japan still eats over 1,000 tons yearly. Top kaiseki slice fugu into zen-thin sashimi, forming translucent chrysanthemums. You taste precision and peril as art. Honestly, pufferfish deaths are still rare, about 10 to 30 a year, but over time, thousands have died in history. In 1774, James Cook was poisoned by pufferfish. In 20th century Japan, a restaurant mishap killed diners. Recently, some families still cook wild pufferfish. Mild cases go to hospital, severe die after eating. Still, it's a deadly lure. Moreover, pufferfish aren't naturally toxic. They turn poisonous after eating bacteria-laden prey in the wild, accumulating toxins and turn. In theory, non-toxic pufferfish can be farmed. Farmers in Japan, Korea, China pursue that dream. Redo or the fish's fate. Who'll laugh last? First, rye. Rye may look unassuming, but it actually hides a deadly secret. He was once the poorest table staple, then a devil's envoy, blamed for visions, and a spark behind medieval witch hunts. Rye spread through Afghanistan, Iran, and Turkey, once just a wheatfield weed. In cold, damp Central and Northern Europe, hardy rye was quickly adopted, becoming poor farmers' only choice. Rye has 1.3 multiplied by the protein of wheat and more vitamins and minerals. It was blacklisted surprisingly because it spoiled very easily. Rye also quickly gets toxic ergot fungus in cold, damp conditions. Black spike-like growths form on crushed rye, called ergot. Medieval peasants saw it as just rye, unaware it could be deadly. After harvest, they still ground ergot rye to flour, baked bread, after a family meal. Horrific symptoms: burning, fire-like pain, convulsions, mute, limbs blackened, rotted and fell off. People couldn't explain the illness, blaming wrath or demons, calling it St. Anthony's fire. Sufferers burned in agony and could only beg St. Anthony to save them. The largest St. Anthony's fire outbreak occurred in southern France in 944 AD. Damp weather that year let ergot thrive, killing 40,000 at once. Since then, rye was no longer poor bread, but the devil's bait. More shocking, ergot poisoning causes illness, hallucinations, and mental disorder. Historians suspect this poisoning may have sparked bouts of mass hysteria, most famously the Salem witch trials in colonial New England. Back then in Salem, Massachusetts, girls suddenly screamed, babbled, convulsed, and even claimed to see the devil. The community panicked. Adults steered children to accuse nearby witches at random. Often, the accused were outcasts. Soon, each forced confession again invented more witches as names. The government went mad. Any accusation, even from dreams or hunches, could convict. Months later, 200 jailed, 20 dead. The farce ended abruptly only when the governor's wife, too, was accused of witchcraft finally. Rye panic gripped Europe 200 years. Until 1670, a French doctor found the culprit. These symptoms weren't devilry, witchcraft, or holy wrath, but moldy rye bread. So the poor suffered most. The rich ate white flour or imported grain. Rye was never their staple. More chilling, ergot's active compounds are structurally nearly identical to modern hallucinogen drugs. In 1938, Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann derived LSD from lysergic acid. In 1943, he tested it. First legal tripper. In short, medieval peasants seeing ghosts weren't insane. It was chemistry. That hellish poisoning also shaped art then in powerful, lasting ways. Paintings like The Temptation of St. Anthony show devil torment, levitation, flames. These painters' inspiration may come from poisoned neighbor in their village. At Isenheim Hospital in France, artists painted the Isenheim altarpiece, showing bodies eaten away, limbs twisted, minds broken, to soothe patients and remind them they weren't suffering alone. Not just humans. Animals get ergot poisoning. Records say infected cows get gangrene in hooves and tails, stop giving milk, then die. Back then, herders had no explanation for these events and could only call them cursed. Today's rye bread isn't now limb-losing, ghost-seeing poison. Modern farming and food safety detect and control ergot. History shows a simple crop, combined with ignorance, superstition, and harsh weather, can cause centuries of disaster. That's all for today. Which forbidden food shocked you most? Tell us why in comments down below.